YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream, you guys. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all so much for tuning in once again. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Please hit the like button as you come into the building, you guys. So I'm back with another impromptu live stream for y'all. So make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come in, y'all, for these live streams, all right? Don't mind my colorful thing. I'm cold, y'all. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. Queen of Vibes in the building, UFO Kamikaze 1, Ryan Wetlow. Shout out to you guys and shout out to everybody watching and everybody, who supports the channel. So I wanted to give my thoughts on this. This is something that a lot of people are still talking about, y'all. This whole draft with Shedeur Sanders and him being blackballed, allegedly being blackballed. And people have many different opinions about this. I don't know if you guys are into sports or whatever, and I'm kind of into sports, but I've been following the Sanders family for years. They've actually lived out in Texas, and I remember watching their show when my kids were smaller, and their kids were Deion Sanders, all of Shedeur, and all of them were like the same age as my sons, and they're all like around the same age. So I'm very familiar with them and been watching them for a long time. So I think that's probably why my interest is in this particular topic, because of the Sanders and Shedeur Sanders. So there are people who are saying that Shedeur, what happened? What happened? Something went out. I don't know what happened, but can y'all hear me? I get to talking, but can y'all hear me? One in the chat if y'all can hear me, because I don't know what be happening here. Stuff be happening, and I don't even know what's happening. Can y'all hear me? Is the audio good? Because I don't be knowing what the hell is going on sometimes. If y'all can hear me, one in the chat before I get to rambling. Y'all can hear me. Okay, good. What's going on, Joe Mama? How are you? Baby Funk 1975, what's going on? So y'all can't hear me. Good. So I just wanted to know if y'all were interested in this whole draft, situation with Shedeur Sanders. What do you think that he was blackballed? And I want to play a little bit of Shannon. Of course, Shannon, and Shannon got a lot of stuff he got to worry about, with this, this allegations and all that. But besides that, we know, he gives his take in sports because that's where he comes from, him and Ocho Cinco. So on Nightcap, they talked about it, and I want to play a little bit from that just to get y'all thoughts on it, because there are a lot of, and then we're going to move on to another, of course, another ratchet topic as well, of the hyena tribe. We got to get into that as usual. But I wanted to get y'all thoughts on this whole thing. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders was blackballed? Do you think that there was a intent to keep him from the draft and keep him, and of not drafting him? Because that's exactly what Ocho and Shannon are talking about in this clip. And there are a lot of people who didn't want him apparently on their team because of his father, Deion. That's the anyway, that's the narrative that's going around, that he's too cocky. You know what I mean? He's arrogant and things of that nature. And they just don't want to deal with that, even though, he's a good player. And I've actually seen him play. And I think him, Travis, even, and they're talking about Cam Ward, if y'all are familiar with him. These are really good players now. And there are also some people who are, comparing him to his father, comparing him to Deion and all of this. But overall, I think he's a really good player. And I think he deserved to be drafted, of course. But there are a lot of people who didn't want him, and that's the speculation that's going around because of the fact that he's too cocky and he's too this and too that. But my thoughts on it is, I think that he has, he's very confident in what he's able to do. And I just think that a lot of people aren't used to that from him, from a person like him, I'll just say. A lot of people are saying that race is not a factor, but I think it is. I think it is. And the only reason I say that is because there's so many other white players who act the same and actually have a lot of worse things going on, that it's kind of being swept under the rug and nobody really talks about it. But they're focused on him being arrogant and cocky. But they never talk about, him not practicing or him not doing what he's supposed to do in regards to the sport. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's shown his potential and what he's able to do, and he's serious about his craft, and he hasn't shown anything other than that from what I've seen. You know, you don't hear about these young men being drunk on the streets and being arrested and doing crazy stuff, which I think that will be something that you would focus on more, because that will be something that would affect the team, their game, and everything else. But when it comes to the work ethic, he has it, in my opinion. So the fact that he's proud and he's confident about who he is and what he believes he can do, and on top of that, he comes from the background that he comes from with his father and all of that, I think all of that plays into it. I do. I think all of that plays into it. I think because he's not in a desperate situation where he essentially needs the NBA, or he wants it and he wants to do it, but is it a need for him? It's not, because and I think that plays into it too. I think when you come from a situation where you're needy and you're coming from a broken home, or something like that, those young men can somewhat, in some ways, be controlled in a sense. And I don't know why is it that people like to be able to control folks or have a control over people. It's something the way people move. They just want to be able to have control over you for whatever reason. I don't know, but I think all of that plays into why what is being said about Shedeur Sanders is why that's all coming into play. But I want to hear y'all thoughts on it. So before we get into it completely, make sure you guys are hitting the like button as you come into the building. Hit the like button. But I want to go ahead and play a little bit of what Nightcap had to say, Shannon Sharp and Ocho. Y'all listen to what they're saying, and y'all let me know if y'all agree or not. All right, here we go.
We got more details on the Shedeur fall. According to Boomer Esiason, multiple team owners ordered their coaching staff to remove Shedeur from their draft boards.
Would that be called collusion? I'm just curious. Would that be called collusion or no?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Boomer said they took him off, and they took him off because the owner said, take him off. I don't want that guy. No. If I say, Joe, if I own a restaurant, I say, Joe, and Joe's the head chef. Joe, I don't want you to sell lobster. Okay, there's another owner that has a seafood shop. Joe, I don't want you to sell lobster. No. You hear reports. He didn't take it as serious as he needed to. At the end of the day, for me, let's just say everything everybody's saying is true. Ocho, I really don't know what else to add. I think the thing is that sometimes, maybe he looked at it like, my dad, the Giants asked the dad for an interview. Time asked him, say, when y'all picking? Like, we picking 16. Time said, y'all, I ain't gonna be there when y'all pick, and got up and walked out. But you're talking about a transcendent. You're talking about a historically great player. Everybody can't do that. Remember, we talked about it 2 years ago, 2 years ago, Ocho, about Marvin Harrison Jr., how he didn't work out, he didn't do nothing. I said, Ocho, everybody can't do that.
Nah.
You've got to be legit, beyond legit in order to pull a punch like that, or they will humble you. They will. And so look, Ocho, unless you get people that was making those decisions and ask them flat out and says, what was it about Shedeur that you didn't like? And why didn't you select him such and such, such and such? Other than that, it's all going to be speculation. Do I know Boomer? Look, I work for Boomer. I work with Boomer.
Well, they're not going to come right out and say it. Come on now. And as much as people don't want to put race into it, I do believe race plays a part. We're to a point now where we've seen too much. You know what I mean? It's hard to look at it and say, oh, that wasn't part of it. And I know a lot of people do that. And it may not be to the fullest extent for just that reason and that reason alone. But yeah, like somebody mentioned, you've been trying, they know what they were doing. In my opinion, you know what I mean? It was to spite the dad. Oh, y'all think y'all cocky. Oh, y'all think y'all doing something, huh? Cause of this, the color, the color of your skin. Oh, okay. We're not used to this, and from what I heard, it never was meant. And I'm just, what I've heard, never was meant for even the players, for the black players to become coaches. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Chime in. Y'all probably know better than me. But I've heard allegedly that it was never meant. They don't want to see black players become coaches. They're not supposed to be a coach. They're not supposed to become owners. They're only supposed to play, become washed up, retire, with no money, and on to the next. That's the, the trajectory, in a sense of which, it's supposed to go for them. They're not supposed to go on to become coaches and owners of a team or any of that. And I just think that when you have, melanated individuals who take it further than what was expected, it's going to be some pushback. It's going to be some backlash. And in my personal, humble opinion, I think that that's the case with Deion Sanders and his sons, because Deion Sanders defied the odds and he did things that people didn't think he could have done. Even our own people called him a sellout, and everybody has their own opinion. I'm not knocking your opinion. I'm just giving mine. They call him a sellout because he went from Jackson State to Colorado. And I'm just like, and look how that turned out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Colorado has the most draft picks. Am I lying? If I'm not, I think they have the most draft picks from Colorado, the team that Deion decided to go to. And now all these young men are drafted into the NBA. Not the NBA, the NFL. So I just think, I don't know. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you do a good job, somebody testing you. If you don't do a good job, that's what's expected. If you don't do well, that's as a melanated person, that's what's expected of you. You exceed what they thought you should do. Oh, now you're cocky. Oh, now you're beside yourself. You're uppity. You know what? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it. Just from the little bit of that I paid attention to and I've been watching over the years. And also once again. It's Deion Sanders. It's his sons. He's been there in his sons' lives. He's raised his children. He's taught them about the game. He's taught them everything that he's prepared them for this. And I just don't think that a lot of those owners and coaches are ready for this type of, these young men who come from this type of background. They're not clueless to the game. They know what to expect. They seem to have the balls to withstand whatever you try to throw at them. And I don't think that the powers that be like that. You want a scared, shaken, black young man who didn't have a father who raised him so that he can be shifty and scared and you can control him and tell him what to do and he just do it and fall in line. And I think when you have young men who have been raised well and they're not just going to fall in line, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a challenge for a lot of these individuals. And on top of that, he brings a lot of clout to the game, in my opinion. If I'm not mistaken, they said that he's he's put in the category of top 10 best-selling jerseys so far as well. With Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders is right in there. Ashton Jonte, I don't know his real name. It's a lot of them, but he's right in there. And so if anything, I think he's going to bring people to the game. He's going to bring people to see because people want to see what he can do. Now, him being a fifth draft round pick, he's going to have to prove himself. It's like they want him to prove himself. You too cocky. You're doing too much, in my opinion. So we're going to have to show you something. You know what I mean? Hold out. And this is why Shannon is saying allegedly they were told not to pick him. We don't like that guy. Don't pick him. Because if that wasn't the case, I'm pretty sure he would have been drafted either first or second round draft pick, in my opinion. But I think because they allegedly said don't do it, that's why, it's to teach them a lesson to show them, hey, you can't get beside yourself because we run this, we control this, and we can do what we want. That's what I got. I don't know. That's what I got. But let's continue. But also, before we continue, I think them doing what they allegedly did is just put more shine on him, put more spotlight on him. Because if they had if he was picked early on and they moved past it, we wouldn't be really talking about it as much. I think because of this, now there's more shine. I think I seen this young man in airline commercial. He was in a commercial. It's like y'all put more shine on him. It's like he's getting more publicity more on him because of what y'all chose to do. And I think it just goes to show no matter what you try to do to knock somebody, if it's for him, is still going to shine. I don't know. I just see it that way, y'all. And, and I think because I've been watching him for a while, I have a little, I'm like more into this particular one. And this makes me want to get back into football to see what plays out, to watch Travis, to watch Cam, to watch Shedeur, Shiloh, all of them, because I want to see what they're going to do if they get the chance to play. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it's gonna drive more people to see what they're gonna do, and I think that's good for the game, in my opinion. Pharaoh says, like Eddie said on his show, slavery evolved, child. And I've heard many people say that, Pharaoh. Thank you so much for the super chat, Pharaoh. Thank you so much for being here. Avenue77, thank you for the super chat, says, all these retired NFL black coaches could have joined the XFL and branded that company, and sponsors would have followed. Good point. Very good point. Very good point. Very good point. I don't know. And, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you for the super chat, Avenue 77. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Let's continue, y'all. I was just reading some of y'all comments. Here we go. Gatorade commercial, J-Rock. Yeah, and he's also in a I can't remember the airline. I know he's in a new airline commercial as well. For I forget which one, but yeah. Let's continue.
For a decade.
We done been around the game too long now. We done
Yes.
been around the game too long. You know what it was.
Do I believe people told Boomer that? Yes, I do.
Yes, of course.
I do.
It's the same thing I said. We've never seen anything like that before. For someone to be graded that high on draft boards throughout the entirety of not just the season, but right before the draft, and to all of a sudden to go in the 5th round, I never said it was anything about race. Forget race. Throw race out the door. I'm talking about the humbling process. I'm talking about the collective decision of collusion amongst those. You know what? The Sanders family is different. The Sanders family is different.
I think
It's different.
Let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you this, Joe. Before you go, let me ask you this, Ocho. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, we say graded. We're talking about Mel Kiper grades, Todd McShay grade.
Yes.
We're talking about Peter Schrager. We're talking about Lou Riddick. We're talking about Bucky Brooks. What about the team grades? Those are the grades that we need to see. Because at the end of the day, the people that grade that we read, the Mel Kiper, the Todd McShay, the Peter Schragers, and this one and that one, they don't make no decision. So in other words, Joe, I need to see the grade that the 32 teams had on Shedeur. And now, because what if they had him a middle round draft pick, a late round draft pick?
The devil is a lie. The devil is a lie.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
The scouts, Mel Kiper, Louis Riddick, and everyone else who's been doing this for eons of years have the same eyes, the same set of eyes that the GMs and the scouts have. Now, if you watch Shedeur, and a lot of people on Twitter and he's not that good, man. What are we talking about? Are you watching the game of football?
Listen, and like I said, I don't know too much about sports like in depth, but I know enough to know that I've watched him and he's damn good. Now, many are saying, "Oh, he's not as good as his father." Okay, well, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. But I think he's good. And I think, just like I think Travis is good, I think Shiloh is good. I think a lot of those players are good, or they wouldn't be in the position that they're in. And I just think it's just always something to try to minimize the talent or, bring up something just to kind of get in the way of it, in my opinion. And I've heard, listen, I shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. O'Shea, and, love O'Shea, but O'Shea talked about this and he had a different perspective that I didn't fully agree with, because I don't think that when you look at Shedeur, and go check out O'Shea's video on this, y'all, if y'all haven't already, and come back and let me know what you think, because I didn't agree with O'Shea on this one. I agree with O'Shea on a lot of stuff, but this particular video I did not, because I just felt like this is the narrative that people want to spin, and always when it's one of us, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen some of these other young men come into the league, do all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of them be having charges on them as we speak, and they still get picked. And they go in there and nobody has nothing to say. Nobody is saying anything. But when the best you could say is, "Oh, he's too cocky. Oh, he's too arrogant. Oh my God, he think his ish don't stink, and he think he's above himself because Deion Sanders is his father." No, his father taught them how to be men, and he taught them how to work and work ethic. And he's not just playing with them. They've talked several times about how hard he is on them. So he's trained them and pushed them to be the best, as you should as a father. And for some reason, when you're melanated, that's being tarnished or triggered or messed with. I don't know. It's just crazy to me, but I know what it is, and I've seen it before. And that's why I see it with this situation. And once again, I know people will say, oh, well, he's coming in and he's thinking this and think. Nah, I don't think these kids are not, these young men, because these are young men, they have not shown to be these horrible individuals. They have not been out here committing. We haven't heard or seen anything, that's salacious in a negative way on any of the Sanders, Shiloh, or Shedeur. We have not seen them act out in ways that we've seen others, that have actually had to be kicked off teams and all that because they were not doing what they were supposed to do. You know what I mean? And all Shedeur and even Shiloh, all of them was, just give us a chance. We're gonna prove it, or what, we're gonna do the best that we can. And just to try to undermine that and then try to use it as he's too I just don't like that. And then to do something like that, to say, oh, we don't want this guy, don't pick him, to tell people not to pick him, to me, that's low down. I think that's low down. I just don't, what are y'all afraid of? If anything, he's gonna do more for the league, in my opinion. He's gonna bring people who otherwise had stopped watching, like myself. It's gonna make me want to watch now because I feel like I have somebody to watch and I want to get back into the game. You know what I mean? So I don't know. So there's let me see. Hold on. It's been cocky NFL player for decades. Shedeur didn't break the mold. It's been chilled. NFF was getting at DI. Yeah, that's true. And I think there are a lot of. I was watching a live stream the other day. And they was asking some of the players who are they looking forward to seeing. Shedeur came up, and they we like a quarterback to have that type of attitude because it almost motivate them to play. They it's a motivation thing. It's not like a negative thing the way they, in my opinion, the way I think they're trying to paint it. No, he's just confident, and a lot of times when it's us, your confidence is confused as cockiness and arrogance. Now listen, he likes to win. And he knows he's good at what he does, and he's pushing ahead. So he does have a bit of that, I will say, but I don't think that's something to focus on in a negative way. Because once again, you're right, that he's not the first person to come out that way. But long as he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's not bothering anybody, he's not doing anything crazy. Why is that such the focus? Is all I'm saying. Let's see. Successful MD, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I won't blame Dion. We must, we must, I guess, know how to conduct ourselves when it comes to business, right? There's a difference between showboating and confidence. Shedeur played a role in his demise. Shiloh is different. You said he played a role in his demise. You mean in the draft situation? Because I think also, thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate your super chat. Because also I think, when we say demise, I guess if it relates to him being picked 144, yeah, but he's still in the NBA. So how much of a demise would you say it is? He still was drafted. He still get a chance to possibly play. And on top of that, he's not in a desperate situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not in a desperate situation. So they could make moves like that, even if, because some were saying that, Dion is kind of the cause of this. He's kind of the one behind it, or the ringleader. And maybe that's some truth to it. But at the same time, I think people move in that way when they don't really have much to lose. You want to play, you want to, and that's just my thoughts. You want to play, yeah, you would love to do it, but at the same time, it's not a necessity for them. And I think that's the difference when it comes to young men who are not in a position as the Sanders boys. You get what I'm saying? At least that's how I see it, y'all. I think they have an advantage. They got a rich father. They actually are rich themselves. They're not struggling for money. They have access. They have resources. They're not in a desperate situation. So I think they can afford to do that. I wouldn't suggest that anybody else move in that way who are not in their position, because it may not fare well for them, and it will be it could be a shortcoming for them. But I think because they are in a position they're in, they don't feel, they don't have that mindset like, oh, I got to be scared and I got to be this. You know what I mean? It's a difference, I think. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Farrell says, nostalgia ruined their mind to compare him to his pop. Okay, I see what you're saying, Pharaoh. I see what you're saying. Well, I mean, is there anything wrong with him wanting to be as good as his dad? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but if anything, it's motivation to push you to do better. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chat, Pharaoh. Let's continue, y'all.
I've been watching for a very long time. Actually, since I was 4 years old. As a matter of fact, I played the position who had to catch the ball from the goddamn quarterback, so I know what it looks like when the quarterback's actually decent. Come on,
I think it's gonna work out for him, man. I think, like I said, all the talk about all this, the fact that he got an opportunity, Uncle Ocho,
right?
I think he's gonna take full advantage of it, man. And it looks like he may get a chance sooner than later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes, man,
I hope so. But
this might not be a bad thing, man.
Joe, sometimes
I know it might not be a bad thing.
I agree. Sometimes, man, it's just like people want to see failure.
Yeah.
people like, look, there's 50% of the people don't care that you have a problem. The other 50% glad you got them. So in other words, they don't give a damn about you. 50% don't care you got a problem. The other 50% glad you got the problem.
Yeah.
And it ain't them.
50%. Hey. So it does. At the end of the day, there ain't nothing we can speculate and we can surmise. But at the end of the day, when you get your opportunities, that's what I always felt, Ocho. I thought I was gonna be somewhere between a first and a third round draft pick.
Yeah.
Hey, I only heard from 2 teams. Guess what the 2 teams that called me, Ocho, say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up. Next door. Cincinnati Bengals was one.
Hey.
And the Seattle Seahawks.
And you ain't go to neither one of them.
Oh, Lord.
They ain't want your boy.
Hey, I'm telling you, Shedeur, it's Shedeur's. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. Now, they haven't had a quarterback, and since Bernie Kosar, they went through a multitude of quarterbacks. They had a quarterback carousel for a very long time, and I guarantee this is the blessing for him and him ending up there and having to work his way from the bottom back up.
Right.
I like it. I like it for him. I like it for him. And he's built for this.
Who the wide?
He's built
One of
for
my
this.
good. Go ahead.
Who the wide
go
house
ahead.
over there? Who you got to throw to over there?
Jerry Judy, David Njoku. How you say it? Njoku.
Njoku.
They just added Deontay Johnson.
Johnson.
He's a real twitchy, another route runner similar to Jerry Judy. I like it. He gonna be all right. Yeah, he gonna be all right.
Chris Carter, good friend of mine, brother in the Pro Football Hall of Fame alongside me, went off on Shedeur, throwing away at least $30 to $50 million in the NFL draft, and makes it clear he doesn't believe the NFL owners colluded against him. Shedeur and his family overplayed their hands. They taught him a great lesson. They did. They will. Ocho, people, we look at Archie and Eli's situation.
Yeah.
Remember how I told you, I said, look, you got to evaluate your situation based on your situation.
Right.
You can't be looking at somebody else and how they treated them and think you're going to get that same type of treatment.
Well, you ain't going to get that same type of treatment because it's different. They can do that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
they can do that.
But we supposed to know that going in.
Well,
see, if I already know what I'm up against, I ain't got no problem because I already know what I'm up against. See, that's why we study tape, Ocho, because that I need to know what you're gonna do on first down, second down, third down, what you're gonna do on third and short, third and long, second, red zone, this area of the field. So I know I have a pretty good idea.
Yes, sir.
Now you go in the game and you don't know, Ocho. Come on now, you know how this thing go.
Yeah. They will.
I don't have to learn a lesson but once. I don't have to learn a lesson but once, Ocho.
Yeah.
Hey, I can tell you.
Yeah, I seen a comment in the chat. They got 5 quarterbacks. They all got to compete for a starter spot. That's true. And so, listen, I think it's gonna be tough. But it's gonna be, you know, interesting to see what happens. I think people are always looking for the negativity. You know, a lot of people don't. We're instinctually, we by instinct we go to negativity. If let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And to have the opportunity is half the battle. At least you get the opportunity to prove what you can or cannot do. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he just wanted the opportunity. And once again, in my opinion, he's not desperate. Yes, there's money involved, but I mean, when you're broke, you come from a place of money. You know, when you don't have money, your main intent is to get the money and do what you love now. But mainly to take, what do you hear? What do you hear everybody, even athletes and entertainers, what's the first thing you hear them say when they out there? Oh, I want this opportunity so I can take care of my family. Don't we hear that all the time? The first thing that out their mouth is, yeah, I want this opportunity so I can take care of my family, my moms. You know what I mean? A lot of them are raised by single mothers and they want to take care of their moms, buy their moms a house. You know, that's the first thing you hear them say. So clearly it's about money. And when you don't have money, you're mostly money motivated. When you come from a situation where money is not your first instinctual vibe, yes, you get it. But if you have it, it's not at the forefront. You just more or less want to do it because you want to prove a point, or you love the game and you just want to be a part of it because that's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like I say, when you have money, money is not at the forefront of your mind. When people who don't have money, that's all they talk about. I just need the money, and if I had this amount, I'd do this and I'd do that. That's not everybody's gripe if they have it. So in my opinion, from what I see with the Sanders, yeah, they're not in that desperate situation for the money like that. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they was already making money. They already have. They've already made money. Now they could stand to make more, of course. Who doesn't want more money? But what I'm saying is that's not at the forefront of their mind. They want to play. They got an axe to grind, a point to prove. So that's what I'm saying. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. XYZ, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey D, like button is free. Support with super chat. Thank you, XYZ. Thank you so much for the super chat and for the support. Yes, please hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We got about 87 watching and we have 67 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button. Also, go ahead and give a super chat. $5 is not going to break the bank. Go ahead and give a $5 super chat to support the channel, y'all. Please support the channel in that way, and also hit the like button. That helps to support the channel as well. Go ahead and hit the like button. Let's hear a little bit more of what they got to say, y'all. Then we're going to move on.
Hey, what? My grandmother never tore my ass up for something I did twice. Because she shut down on you the first time. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Shannon, because the situation you in outside of this, I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I like Shannon Sharp, but with the situation you in now, somebody must have told you, hey, bro, won't you stop doing that? Even Monique told you. So I'm just saying, I ain't trying to get on that, but I'm just saying, nobody don't have to tell you something twice. That's my only pushback. That's my only pushback. Come on now, Shannon. Are we capping now? Because I'm pretty sure somebody told you leave them white girls alone. You know what I'm saying? So that you in this situation that you in now. So a couple of people probably told you, man, once you stop before they get you in the bind, and you didn't really listen. So somebody, had to tell you a few times and you didn't listen. I'm just saying. Maybe that's just referring to football. I'm just saying, Shannon. We with you though. We with you though. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
You learn. Lesson learned.
Damn.
It's a tough lesson. It's a tough lesson to learn. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Shedeur arrived in Cleveland and is already putting in the work for the upcoming season. Shedeur is ready to prove all the haters wrong.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes.
Since if I cut myself right now, obviously, I bleed black and orange. Cincinnati at heart. Can I get a Shedeur Sanders jersey?
No, Cincinnati and Cleveland, y'all bitter rivals.
I know we bitter rivals, but okay. See, that's tough. That's a good. Chad, what y'all think? I'm Cincinnati, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Shedeur. So
go get your jersey, Ocho. Hey,
but don't wear it.
Might even want to get a signature on it, man. It might be worth something.
Okay, bomb. I think I'm gonna do that.
Matter of fact, when you get you one, You think you can get me one?
I can get you one. I get you one. I got you. Matter of fact, I can get you some Deion's too. You want some shoes? I can get you some
I
shoes.
don't threaten me with no good time. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad the draft is over. I mean, I don't know if we've had a prospect, Ocho, that we've talked about more leading up to the draft, during the draft, after the draft. I don't know if we've had a player, Ocho, in my time. I'm a little older than you and Joe, that we've talked about as much as we talked about Shedeur Sanders.
Oh yeah, most
When you
definitely.
turn the tape on,
He's
when
probably
you turn the tape on, I mean, you see it. I mean, he's a hell of a quarterback, man. I mean, I think he get a knock because of maybe he don't run as much as people would like him to, but he's a stand in the pocket dart thrower. You know what I mean?
right. Look, I don't know. Look, I think the thing is that when your dad is time and you're talking about athleticism out of the yin yang.
Oh yeah.
But none of his kids are as athletic as him. None of his kids can run like he can. None of his kids can jump like he can.
I agree I agree with that.
King Griffey, I had King Griffey on, and he's like, he used to go watch his son play. And he's like, he was at the play, and the guy said, "Boy, you nothing like your daddy." King said, "Well, name 5 players who are."
Right.
Okay, you talk about, well, his sons are not like Deion. Okay, name 5 players that are like Deion, that have the athleticism that Deion had, that can do what he did in football and baseball. Name 5 players that can do that.
You can't.
See, I think this guy we always do this, Joe. This guy be a heck of a basketball. This guy be a heck of a football player, or this guy be a heck of a basketball player. I ain't got to say what I saw him do it.
Right.
You can't say, well, man, Time could have played baseball. He did. Man, he'd been a good football player. He's legendary. He's historically, transcendently great. And because your offspring doesn't display or doesn't have those skills, that doesn't mean they can't be great in their own right.
Right. Yeah.
For me, for him to make it as far as he did with his dad being who he is, I think that says a lot about the son, and that says a lot about the dad by not handing them, giving them handouts, making them earn everything they got. And him, even though that's his dad, wanting to get it on his own. The father should put his son in a situation. I have means and I have access to some of the great coaches, some of the great quarterbacks, some of the great, whatever, nutritionists. Okay, that's what you do. You set your kids up for success.
That's what
you give them the best. You owe your kids an education and to give them the best start possible.
Set them up to succeed.
And then after that, Joe, you're like, hopefully you've done a great enough job that they got it figured out. Now, hey, you might have to, kickstart them again. And the next time you might have to kick them in the ass. But hey, hopefully they figure it out.
Right.
Listen, I agree with that. I mean, that's just what it's all about. Any person with, who have sons and daughters and children, you want to set your children up to be the best. And if you can contribute to that in any way, wouldn't you? I mean, that's the whole point. Now, I think with Deion Sanders and I think he's done a great job. I think he have respectable young men. And yeah, you could say, they might be a little cocky or whatever, but I mean, Deion was like that. Because he knew what he brought to the table and he was good at it. So, okay, and what? I mean, that's nothing. If that's the worst that you can say, come on now. Come on. Because we know there's worse to be said about others. But I just wish nothing the best for them. And I'm interested in, and I'm just, I definitely want to follow them and see what they do. Whether it's, up to our expectations or not, at least they get the opportunity to do what they want to do. And whatever happens, happens. That's it. You don't dwell on it. You move on. You live life. My husband says, you move on and you live again. Okay. This is life. You go through ups and downs. You make decisions. You get the opportunities to do what you want, because a lot of times, some people don't even get the opportunity. Some people are not even able to get it. So they're fortunate, just like all of the others. You're fortunate. You worked hard and you was able to achieve something that many won't. So much blessings. They already blessed, in my opinion. And I think Shedeur, I think Shiloh, I think they're going to do great. They're going to do what they're going to do. None of us can predict it or know how that's going to come out, but at least they got the opportunity to prove themselves and see what they can do. And if you don't meet your expectations or whatever, okay, you move on and live again. Go do something else. They can. It's not an end all be all for them. And I think that's, they can move on and do other things. It's not going to be the end of them or the death of them. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. And so, I just want to see. And like I said, it's bringing people back to the sport who may not have been in the sport because he has fans. People want to see what's going to go down. So hopefully, it turns out to be something great, but what it is, we can only speculate and we can only hope for the best. That's it. And that's it. And move on, child. But listen, I just wanted to get y'all thoughts on on the whole Shedeur Sanders situation. But we're gonna move on and make sure you guys are hitting the like button. 75 watching, y'all. Okay, we got 80 likes. Good. Thank y'all for the likes. Make sure you guys are continuing to hit the like button if you come into the building. Also, if you're feeling generous and you can support the channel, a $5 super chat will definitely help the channel out, you guys. Definitely go ahead and support in that way. It definitely helps to support the channel in a major way. So make sure you guys are doing that. Let's move on. I want to pull up this next clip. And then we're going to be out of here, y'all. I'm not going to keep y'all too long. But I thought this one was interesting. They're all kind of interesting. But, child, it's another hyena. Bonnie crew. I'm just saying, whatever you want to call them. It's just a part of our world now. And we just got to, react to them accordingly. I'm just saying. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Here we go, child.
Okay, good night.
Okay. Hello?
Oh, girl. Hi, girl. How are you?
Good. What is your name?
My name is Denise. Girl,
Denise?
you have to help me find a man.
The all-new Kendra G singles dating app is available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your App Store or Google Play Store and download now. Okay, well, let's start. Denise,
You need to help me find somebody. Listen, Kendra. Girl, I quit my job today. It was probably not a good idea, but I did. I was fed up with them. Oh, Kendra, help me. I need a rich man to support me.
Sure.
Kendra, what am I going to do?
are you trolling me right now?
No, I'm not.
Why is she so close to the camera? Girl, back up. Shit. They be too close to the camera crying for a man. Then you want a rich man? Let's continue.
What job did you quit?
I was working at the...
Why did you quit?
Because they're racist. They're racist. And I had enough.
Okay, so what city are you calling me from?
Las Vegas.
How old are you?
39.
Do you have kids?
39.
No.
Oh.
No kids. So, and have you ever been married?
Yes, I was married one time when I was like 22. Yeah, I was 22. He was in the military. We needed to get those benefits, girl. So we got married for like 4 years, had hella benefits, medical insurance, all of that. You know what I mean? Had it all going on. And then he got out of the military. He was like, girl, I don't want to be married to you anymore. Like, you're a crash out. You crash out all the time. We don't want to do this anymore. And so, like, he's now married to like a white lady. It's very cute and everything. I love it for them. It's but no, I'm not married anymore.
And she said, that dude said, girl, I'm tired of your shit. Baby, you a crash out, honey, and I don't want no parts of you because I can't do it anymore. We got him a white woman. This is what the women be getting mad. They be hating to see it, but you don't look at us. You know you a crash out. You know you full of shit. And then when these men get tired of you and leave, now you mad and be trying to, blame them. No, don't blame them. Blame yourself, girl. She knows she a crash. We already saw she was a crash out as soon as she came on the screen. Screaming, I want a rich man. Kendra, help me, girl. Girl, we see why that man got the hell up out of there, got him a white woman. Because now he's at peace. And now she like that for him. And she's 40 years old, single, still crying for a rich man. Child. You don't see the problem? All right. Let's continue.
Okay. So you said in the beginning you quit your job and you want a rich man.
I did. I quit my job today. I couldn't do it anymore, Kendra. I couldn't do it. You know, when you've had enough of just the disrespect. Kendra, I crashed out on these motherfuckers today. Sorry. I can't say that. But I crashed out on these white people today.
Okay. So Okay, so let's get to the type of man you're
we need to
looking
find
for.
me. We need to find me a rich man who just wants to take care of me. Like no cookie. You ain't getting nothing.
Then you need
Nothing
to
at all.
then you need to focus on 70, like in that area, older white
Yeah,
men.
I would do 70. Yeah.
No, Kendra, pull out the pen and paper. Draw her that man. Cause ain't no man gonna want to deal with her. Unless they're getting something from her. I'm just saying. Draw that stick figure man, cause that's what he gonna be at. That's the only place she gonna find him. On that piece of paper like Kendra used to do. Draw him. This is the moment to draw him. That's the only place she gonna find him, child. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 70 as long as, like, if he wants to take me shopping or
A
eating. I
70-year-old.
love to eat. I love eating. Like, Kendra, eating is like my favorite hobby ever. So if he wants to take me eating,
We could listen.
and you do not want any of this down here,
We see you love to eat, baby, just by the neck and the shoulders. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
nothing south of the border.
Why do you not want to have sex?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Not with the older man. Not with the older disgust. Not with the older man. I just don't want it. You know, I don't want them putting that. You know what I'm saying, girl.
Okay, so listen, listen, it's my first time meeting you. I want to make sure you're not trolling me. This is things that you're very being honest for. You're just trying to make a moment.
Kendra, I've had the hardest day of my life, and it's. Kendra, listen.
Oh shit! Look at her,
I've been crashing out for 3 hours.
girl.
I just want an older
crash out
person who just wants no cookie and wants to take care of me. Because I'm going to be poor. I am poor. I'm going to be poor and on the streets having to sell my cat. And I don't want to sell my cat, Kendra. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Please, Kendra. That's all I want.
Girl, get ready to sell that cat. That's the only way you gonna make it. God, Lord have mercy. The people be coming on here. It's getting worse, y'all. Lord have mercy. Successful People Day, she needs to be on the 5th floor for life, honey. Listen, this. Thank you, J. I don't know, Mike did. I hope I say your name right. Thank you. Oh my God, this is insane. Thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Let's continue.
Older man, no cat. Give me money. Give me the money. Show me the money. That's all I want. Is that too hard to ask for?
Yes.
Well, you live in Vegas. I think you gotta, if this is what you're asking for, you gotta focus on almost dead. Focus on almost dead men that just want to have.
They don't want
Almost dead men that just want to have a
dead
thrill
is
of
real.
life.
Almost dead.
Oh, because
You
they
should be their thrill for the last 2 years of their life. If that's what y'all want, lady, if y'all want just somebody's gonna pay your bills,
that ain't gonna work, Kendra, because they want to thrill. She don't want to thrill them. They wanted a little quick ride. They can't do nothing. She didn't want to do nothing. So what she not even offering him that thrill of his life at the end. So why would he want to be with her? I'm just saying that ain't gonna work. She don't want to do nothing. She just wants somebody to take care of her, and that's what a lot of women want. If we keep it real, if we keep it a buck, a lot of these women would love that they would love that program or whatever you want to call it, that deal. They would love to get a man who's just gonna be their sponsor and pay for their bills and pay for their kids and just pay for their lifestyle while they sit back and go screw who they want to. Yeah, I mean, quiet as it's kept. A lot of these women, that's what they want. You want a man who you think is corny, or an old man who looks at you and thinks you're attractive. So he could just, look at you and just be wowed by you and just look at you and enamored by you. And that's it. Like you're his showpiece. You're there to amuse him. Right. But you don't require sex or commitment or nothing. He's just somebody you're his muse. He just look at you and dress you up and look at you, and you pay and you take care of her. That's what they would want. Where they can give up money, stacks of cash. Here, just pay all your bills and do all that for you. You go on and live your life and then come back to me once a month so I can be amused by you and I'm gonna give you millions of dollars, you know? This is what they envision, and this is what a lot of these women would want. They want somebody to be a sponsor to just take care of them for the rest of their lives. They don't want to give you nothing because a lot of them don't be attracted to the men with that money. They're attracted to who they're attracted to, and who they are attracted to is usually a pookie in the rail who ain't got no money, but he fine in their eyes, and he can't really give you much, but he could break you off sexually. Have you coming back for more, but he ain't got no a pot to piss in the window to throw it out. He can't give you no safe place. All this shit that they be asking for from these responsible men. I need to feel safe, and I need to feel safe. He doesn't make me feel safe. That's why I can't be feminine. No, Pookie don't require you to be feminine. He just require you to have a vagina. And see, that's what y'all, not all, but a lot of these women like. You just want a man that you're attracted to you want to be with him, but he can't really provide anything for you. But y'all give them the opportunity. So in the chance after chance after chance, you give babies to him and all of that, hoping and praying and manifesting that he get it together. And he really never get it together. And if he does get it together, it's not with you. He find a totally different woman that he respects and that he wants to be with. And he does the total opposite of what he did with you. And that's why they be bitter and mad. That's just it in a nutshell. So yeah, these women, you don't want a man, in this case right here, she's just off the charts. Like, she's just batshit crazy in my opinion. But, she's being honest, I guess. But a lot of these women aren't really honest about what they're saying they want. You have all these requirements and all this stuff for these men because you don't want these niggas. You want their money. You want them to take care of you. And you just saying all of that because you know it'll probably exclude a lot of them for real. And because you ain't trying to be committed to them and all that stuff. You trying to convince people that you are. A lot of these women are chameleons. They're chameleonaires out here without the real money. You know what I'm saying? They're just chameleons. I just said that. Chameleons out here just trying to fake the funk to try to see what they could get. They're not, because if they was really looking for serious, real relationships, all this stuff wouldn't even matter. And I'm not saying you just go, just because you're in a healthy relationship don't mean you just went for anybody. No, but you have more realistic standards. So I'm just convinced now that their standards are unrealistic because they want them to be. You're not really serious about what you're saying. You just talking shit on social media and you trying to make it stick because you're trying to see what you might look up and get an attractive dude who got money and want you. But a lot of times, if he's attractive, he got it together, he don't want you. That's the thing, and they don't want to say it. They run into the guys that they would give a chance that had the whole package, but he was like, nah, you ain't my type, or I'll holler at you later, and you never hear from him ever. And then he end up with somebody else who's more attractive or whatever. He just didn't want you. And that's what I'm saying. That's what they're running into. They can't find the guys that they would really be interested in. They don't want them. So it's like Pookie 2.0 or something. Pookie that's fine, muscly, attractive like you like, got swag, but he got money too. This is where the athletes and all these people come in at. You want them with their money. And a lot of the athletes, these women don't be physically attracted to them the way they look or nothing or anything like that. If you think about it, some of these athletes, they're not, they're not conventionally attractive, some of them. And the women who be with them, they don't be with them because they're really attracted to him. They with him because they know what he can provide. So this is why you'll see a guy, and I don't like to say really unattractive because a lot of these young men are decent, but they don't be what these women really be wanting. This is why, and shout out to Travis Hunter and congrats to everything that he's getting, but he's one of them where people are like, nah, this woman, she clearly said he wasn't her type. That's what I'm talking about. They don't usually be your type, but they got the money. They got the accolades. So you gonna be like, oh hell, I'm gonna take a chance because shit, I'm gonna play the role because I need this. This takes precedence over whether I like him or not. You know what I'm saying? I need to get my life together. Shit, I ain't gonna never get this opportunity again. So that's where that comes from. They don't be really liking them. They don't be their type, but the money is your type. So that's why. So, that's just what I'm saying. But when it comes to your type and what you're attracted to, they don't care about the money. They don't care about the money. Oh, do me a favor, turn that heater off. This thing got too hot in here. Thank you. They don't care about the money when it's somebody that they like. So this is why you see them with babies with what we would call pookies, because she was attracted to him, physically attracted to him. So anything goes then. Then when it just don't work out, when he have so many chicks and so many babies, it's like, oh shit, I can't stay here because it ain't benefiting me. So I got to keep it moving. It has to get really, really bad for them to move on. You know, it's just crazy, but that's just how it go. That's how it goes. Successful MD says all women are 10s, even with 4 kids and 8 baby daddies. Then let them tell it. Hell yeah. Let them tell. What's going on, Gerudo Legends? Let them tell it. Everybody's a 10. You know. And on top of that, 2 like 280. You know, I think I think 280 is like the sweet spot for the weight. They usually like 280, 300 pounds, 5'4". You know what I'm saying? So add that on. 10, you're a 10 with 4 baby daddies, 4 kids. He said 8 baby daddies. I mean, with all the baby daddies, and then you about 280, 300 pounds. I'm just saying. Ghetto and ratchet is all outdoors. But oh yeah, any man will be lucky to be with you. Thank you, Successful MD. Let's continue.
Almost dead is the age you looking for. He impotent. That's why he got, but he might got kids but now if he got kids, the kids gonna whoop your ass for trying to get their daddy's money. So I don't know, but it's the almost dead man that's gonna for this.
Kendra, stop! Oh my gosh. Oh, Kendra, please. Girl, please. Please. Whip my ass. Kendra, please. Oh gosh.
Almost dead. If that's what y'all want. If you want a sugar daddy, gotta find a man who got 3 years left of life. He don't care. He wants to spend his money. He got this life insurance. He just want to have a good time. He don't care. What you want to do? Almost dead. That's the age range. Woo, child. Something told me to come to TikTok today. All new Kendra G singles dating app is available now.
She got her up there quick, child. These women are psychopaths, I'm telling you. It's worse. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I'm just saying. You know, it's just, once again, people do not care how they present themselves on social media. They really don't, y'all. And they really don't. And the thing, look, the more I'm on social media, the more strange it gets. The more buffoonery I see. And I see it from everybody. I ain't got a lie. I saw this man on I think Instagram or TikTok, one of them, and he was an older man, and he talking about he just got out the shower, and I'm like, why? Okay, he might be, he might shoot for the same team or something. But he was like, I don't know if he does or not. I'm just saying, kind of made me think that, but I don't know for sure. But he was like, y'all, I just got out the shower, and the water was going on my butt or whatever. He was like, how many of y'all got sores in your ass? And I'm just like, the water just hit a sore on my ass, and I just went, ooh, something like that, cause it hurt. And I'm like, nigga. What in the world? What is the world coming to? I swear we are in a Twilight Zone. We're in the goddamn Twilight Zone. We're in the alternate universe. I'm convinced. What in the world? Why would you? And then there were people in the comments actually saying, hey, get you some witch hazel and some Vaseline. I'm like, wait, what? People don't care what they say. They don't care what they say. I'm just saying. I was like shocked and awe. I'm like, what? Big people don't care. They don't care what they say. They really don't. They really don't. Gerudo Legends, thank you so much for the super chat. Says she looks like a large Chucky doll and she sounds evil. Oops. Oof. No. Wait. She like a Chucky doll. A chunky doll. Lord, let me stop. Thank you, Gerudo Legends, child. But can you repeat it again? Because it's too funny. What you want me to repeat, Ada James, child? Back then it didn't want me. Now I'm hot y'all on me, baby. Yeah. Mm. Wait, so y'all want me to repeat? What? Child, I don't even know if I want to. Well, invite DeeDee to the cookout as long as she don't put raisins in the. Oh, hell no. Come on. Do I look white or black? Which one? Come on now. Do I look like I'm going to put raisins in the. Well, you don't know these days because people be asking, do I look like that lady said, do I look like I go on casual dates? And I'm like, hell yeah, you do. So you never know. You never know. You never know. Yeah, hell nah. I ain't white. I'm black. Okay. I got white people in my family, but I'm black. Clearly. Okay. Who I got in my family is not a reflection of who I am, right? I'm black. Okay. But you know, because somebody asked me that one time, and I'm honest with it, but it has no bearing on what I am and who I am and where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like raisins in the potato salad. I don't understand that concept. I've never grown up, never eaten it. Nobody I know puts raisins in potato salad. So I don't know what the hell that's about. I can't do it. I won't eat it. Never ate it. Will never. Okay. I don't know where that come from. I just don't understand it, but it is what it is. You know, if you like it, I love it. I just won't be eating it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I can make a mean potato salad. Just saying. Thank you, Gerudo Lesners, once again. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, please. What? Well, I've speculated a while back that we've been invaded by aliens disguised as humans. Child, they say they got some what they call them, skin shapeshifters and shit. I'm like, ooh, that's why I stay inside, baby. I don't got time for that. Lord, they say there's some shapers out here. They shift into your body and your skin or some shit. Shift shapers, some shit. I don't know. I don't have time. I don't got time. You know, I figure I have a better chance if I'm not putting myself out there too much to be caught up in this shaped and shit or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, it's just crazy. People say the most craziest things on social media, and there's no filters, y'all. There's no filter. They just let it out. They don't care anymore. And while to some degree I can respect that, like people who are not trying to be fake and just be authentically who they are, I can respect that. Be who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. I respect that. I respect people. Look, if you cuss, you cuss. Shit. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but if that's who you are, you are true to who you are, be you. Be unapologetically you. I respect that. I respect that because I don't like when people are trying to be somebody else. It comes off as fake and we see right through it. You know, be you. Be you. Everybody may not like it, but who gives a shit? Do you be you who you are? Don't try to be nobody else. Don't try to talk like nobody else. Don't try to act like nobody else. Be your authentic self because that's where you shine. Once again, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's who you authentically are. And most people respect that. That's who you talk a certain way. That's how you talk. Shit, if whatever you do is what you do. If you're not hurting nobody, and that's you being, I like that. I respect people. So to some degree, there's people who are just being who they are on social media. I'm not talking about them because at least some of them they do have a filter. They don't just talk about. There's a difference between you being you and you just being you just. I don't know, because some people that's just who they are. They're very outspoken and they just say what comes to their mind. There's no filters. They say what they want to say and they don't care what you think. I do respect that. I ain't gonna lie. Even though it's funny and I'm shocked by things people say, I can respect a person being who they are. You know, even if I think it's shocking, even if I think it's a bit much, that's just my opinion. I ain't mad at you. I ain't hating you for it because that's who you are. That's who you are. And that's how you been. And you just be you. Be you. Love it. Successful MD says, did you see the doll of Dr. Umar? Yes, I did. It looked like him too. Where them dolls coming from? Are those real dolls that people are making? I did see it. What is going on with that? Are they real? Is this something that people are making? Thank you, Successful MD. Or what? Are they just, what is it? AI? I don't know. What is it? It's a crime in a black community to use clear grammar. Oh, that's crazy. I'm trying to be more in tune with not give a F what people said. Girl, yes, the older you get, I realize it becomes a real thing for real. Thank you, Successful MD. You know, because when I was younger, I was worried about what people thought and all that. You know, when you get to a certain age, you don't give a. Because when you realize, I don't know what it is. I just think it's something that hits you where you like, you know what? Who gives a shit? Like, I don't give a shit. I really don't be giving a shit. You don't care what people say. You don't care what people do. Because at the end of the day, you got to live your life. And these people not taking care of you. They're not in your everyday life. So, okay, that's how you feel. Okay, I don't give a shit. Okay, now next. If you don't like me or you don't like how I look or you don't like whatever, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Thank you, ma'am, sir. I don't give a shit. I don't. But I think it takes I don't know. I feel like the older you get, you really get to that place for real where you really don't give a shit. I think when you're younger, you kind of say it, but you really do care. I don't know. I think with time and age, you really do get to that. It's really like set in stone. Like you really don't I really don't be giving a shit. And I think the older I've gotten older, it's just really like set in stone. Like I literally don't give a shit. And it takes some time to get to this point, I think. But there are some people who just really been that way their whole life. They never cared about, and they're fortunate. I think those people are fortunate. But for us who was kind of like on the fence and was not as fortunate to not care what people thought, we got to grow into that. We got to grow into that. You got to train yourself to start not caring what people, because these people don't control your life. When you realize nobody control, they don't control your life. Hell, there are things that are out of your control too. And when you realize we all got to die one day, I think you just stop giving a shit there. Look, we all here for a certain amount of time. We don't know when we gonna go. So listen, I ain't got time. You really literally don't look at it like this. You don't have the time to be worried about what other people think. Because that takes a lot of your, that causes a lot of stress, a lot of mental anguish, a lot of confusion. And who got time for that? You really don't have that kind of time to be worried and putting yourself through a lot of mental anguish that you don't really need. You need to be focused on the things that makes you better and makes your life better and helping you to thrive and live the best possible life you can. Because guess what? Every day is not promised to us. And you don't know when your last day is going to be. So why waste it letting people mess with your energy and taking some of that time away from you? What? And I think when you think of it like that, you start not giving a shit. And when I tell you I don't give a shit, I don't give a shit. What nobody think, what nobody say. Because my thing is, I get it. I get it. I don't, everybody has feelings. Everybody has opinions. You can, and I respect people's opinions. You don't have, that's why I say what you think, how you feel, don't have to, that says everything about you, not me, And if I'm at a peaceful place and I'm enjoying life, I want to stay there till I die. I want to be peaceful. I want to enjoy my life, however that looks, whatever that looks like for me and my family. That's all that's important. That's all. And I think when you really get to that place for real and you really hone into that, girl, yeah, you'll be great. You'll be fine. And you live your best life to the end. And one thing people could say, you know what, on your tombstone, she lived her best life. She didn't give a shit rat's ass what nobody thought. But she was there before, at one point, yes, what people said bothered her and then you grew to that point where it didn't matter. Because when you know you're going to die, child, you just live your life. Live your life and do what you want to do and screw the rest. I'm just saying. That's how you get to that place, in my opinion. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Garudo Legend says, yep, people want to be mean. What makes them mad is when you dress casually and look fly, they get butthurt, haterade. Yeah, I mean, hell, that's a reflection of who they are, not you. When people hate on you and mad at something, that's a reflection of them. They hate themselves. They're not happy in their lives. So they're reflecting. What I'm saying, you know how I tell y'all, a lot of what these modern women are saying is a reflection of them. Well, same thing. It's a reflection of them, and they're trying to deal with it. And the only way they can deal with it is try to hate on somebody else, because that's all they can do. So stay clear of those type of people. Don't give them your attention. Don't give them what they're looking for. Like my husband would say, he don't give you no showdown, because that's what people want. People want a showdown. People want to know that they've triggered you. They want to know that they've taken you out of your peaceful place. They want to know that they've messed with your energy. And when you don't give them what they want, it eats them up. You understand what I'm saying? They get more pissed when they can't take you out of your, your comfort zone. When they can't take you out of your what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm talking about? When they can't take you out of your place or out of your out of character. Oh, that they can't stand it. They go to spinning around like Reagan. Their heads start spinning around like the Exorcist. Because they can't take it. God damn, they get mad and start tearing up shit because they realize they can't get you out of frame. And that hurts them more than anything. People love to get you out of character and get you out. They love to see you, screaming and get into an energy that's out of your character. They love that. But you don't give them what they want. See, that's the key. Don't give them what they want. You want to show down? Okay, girl, go. You want to do that with somebody else. Oh, you got a problem with me? Oh, I feel so bad for you, That's what you say. You don't like me? Oh my God, that's too bad. I'm so sorry for you. Shit like that, Thank you, Garudo Legends. Latrell M, tell them to go suck on a lemon. It's your life. I know that's right. And you can suck on something else if you want to. I don't care. Thank you, Latrell. I appreciate you for the super chat. Yeah, people are crazy, but you got to learn how to be. You had to learn how to be a little crazy of them, but not in the way that they expect. You got to outsmart them, outthink them. Don't give them what they want because that's what they want. Yeah. My issue is that I have very strong social anxiety, but as time goes on, I continue to get better with overcoming the anxiety. Yeah. I think that's yeah. I think a lot of us go through that, but like I said, as you get older, it becomes a different situation. I want to pull up this clip, y'all, and I'm not going to keep y'all too long today, but I want to pull this up. And from time to time, I pull this little snippet up because it's just hilarious to me. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget this. And it's one of Kevin Samuels' clips. I'll never forget this one. And there's a bunch of others that I'll never forget. And I usually pull this up from time to time because it just bring me back to the old Kevin Samuels days, which I do miss because it was a lot of good content. You know what I'm saying? So I want to pull it. Let me know if y'all remember this one, but here it is.
Why should a man have to settle for a woman with 2 kids? Because you got a business?
They don't have, Kevin, they don't have to settle for me.
But you said you'd be settling for him.
You say that men are supposed to have money, right? That's what you say. So if they don't have money, that means their value is low, right?
High value men, that's a completely different component. That's less than 10% of men. Mm-hmm. And high value men get high value women, women who are in high demand.
Right.
That's not your category. Would you say that you're a woman that's in high demand or most wanted?
I could be. I mean, yeah, I could be.
You're 37 with 2 children.
She look older than her.
Where in the world do women who are average to above average, average to cute, who are a little overweight with 2 kids, where are these women in high demand?
Kevin, I'm working on myself.
You're working on yourself. That's fine. But that doesn't mean you're in high demand.
Right.
I can get there. Can I?
Ma'am, you're an average woman by any stretch of the imagination. And I think that's being fair. Average at best is more likely the term. Average at best would be pretty fair. The issue is, so I got to settle for an average man. That's not settling. That's getting what you can afford to buy on the sexual marketplace.
Okay, so if I wanted a high value man, what do I do?
Be reincarnated. You can't get one. I'm gonna be honest, you can't. You're 37 with 2 kids.
Damn.
If they're less than 10% of the men, why would he pick you over a woman with no children?
And better looking, in better shape. You know what I'm saying? All of that. This when I first saw this video, it took me out. But I'm just saying, better shape, better looking, no kids. Come on now. And that's part of the reason why so many women was pissed at that man and pissed when, even to this day, when people say that, they're like, who the hell you think you are telling me I'm not good enough? Well, it's just denial. A lot of these particular women are in denial. That lady, I don't think that lady was ugly, but she looked like my auntie or somebody. Honestly, like one of my aunties, and she was 37 at the time. She looked like, my like overweight auntie sitting in the kitchen just cooking, who could cook good, by the way, cook. and always in the kitchen cooking for everybody, and you come over and you like to eat her food. That's what she reminded me of, to be honest with you. I didn't look at her as like a woman who was so aesthetically attractive and pleasing to most, for that most men would want to be with her. And I think she could get like an older dude that looked like your grandpa style back in the day, who drank his 6-pack of beers on a Saturday, who go, he got like red eyes because he low-key alcoholic, but not really, but he got a good job. He worked like offshore or something, you know what I'm saying? Or he got a mechanic or something like that. Like he got a job down the street at the local mechanics warehouse or whatever. And he got a consistent job, and he does his job. He get paid. He could buy you, get your nails done and stuff like that, your hair done. He come home and drink his beers and relax. That's the type of, I'm just saying, that's how I would see her, a type of man I would see her with. Somebody that really there for her, and they together, but he a little older than her, but he's like set in his ways, and that's who I could see her with. I'm just saying like somebody like that. What they met when they was a little younger, but he got his little job down the street. He come home with the money. And she cooking and stuff because she cooked good and he getting a good meal. What else could you ask for? They living an average, normal life. They're not trying to be lifestyles and all of that. They're just going to work, coming home and eating and cooking and drinking and having little parties on the side, a little good time where they invite the relatives and they get in fights, the normal, typical stuff. The uncles come over and they talking about their childhood and they fighting and that they wrap that up and but then that's their life. I'm just saying that's how I see her. If I'm gonna be honest, when I looked at her, I don't think she's ugly at all. She'd be a fine woman for a man like that, like a man who really like her. He probably a little lighter skinned than her, because usually, I don't know what it is, y'all. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying off of what I see. Usually she's darker skinned, he a little lighter skinned, but he not as light because he's older. And you know how when you're younger, you're lighter sometimes, and then you get older, you've been out in the sun and working, you get darker. So he's like that medium brown, but lighter than her. He tall, and she like light-skinned tall dudes, but he's a little rough around the edges, come home with the dirty clothes on from working, dirty fingernails from the oil from being a mechanic. But she run his bath water, let him get in the bath, have his food ready, have his bills on ice, and then, they chill out and watch a movie or shit. Or he have his other drinking partner come over, little Earl, what's up, little Earl? They come with the drinks and they drink on the living room couch, and she Earl, you want to play? She fix Earl a plate, and they be living cool. That's the type of woman I see her as. I don't see her as this lifestyle, jet setting with a man with all this money. I just don't see that. Now, she looked like she could be somebody's mama, like somebody, my mom, what you cook, coming home, just a regular. I don't see anything wrong with it though. You know what I'm saying? She's not ugly, but she's secondhand. Yeah, but I'm just saying that's when I saw her, that's what I saw. But I don't even think that's a bad thing. But I think a lot of these women have been told, that, they should expect rich men or men with all this money, and not realizing what that entails and what type of women that these men look for. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with average. There's nothing wrong with the majority of the world is average. Most people are average. Like, there's nothing wrong with that to me. You live your life and you choose the life that you want, and you choose the life closest to what you want, and try to achieve whatever it is your goals are in life. Everybody's goals are not the same, So whatever your goals are in life, you go after that, and you work hard towards that, and you can get it, go ahead and get it. But don't just think, you deserve something from, you deserve a rich man. Who talks like that? You don't deserve why would you deserve a rich man? Did you help him get rich? Did you put anything in for him to achieve? No. The only way I would say that you may deserve something from him if you helped him get to that level. If you was there from the beginning and you helped him get rich and you want a part of, or but other than that, you didn't help. You don't deserve nothing but what you give yourself. And if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, you got to be willing to put in. There's something that you should put in. You don't just sit here and think, oh, I just gets a bunch of something for nothing. No, that ain't how it going. But that's not how it's gonna go, and that's what they're realizing. Once again, these women are delusional, and I don't think that anybody should be delusional in that way. I don't. I think that's a bunch of bullshit, and you shouldn't be sitting around manifesting a rich man and manifesting just getting something for nothing, getting something from a person that you don't want to put in not even a portion of what they say they want back. And I don't think there's nothing wrong, because I see these videos going around too of these women talking about, why should a man, because I broke up with a man. She said, I broke up with a dude because he was looking for in their relationship to get something. Ma'am, you looking to get something too. Y'all, I don't understand. So he was maneuvering in a relationship looking to get something. And I said, I had to walk away from that situation because he was trying to get something. Whole time you looking to get something too. What the fuck? Like, why? I don't understand. Y'all, for the life of me, I don't understand. So all these women talking about they want 6 figures, 6 feet. You want this, you want that, you want a lifestyle. He got to pay for the trips, got to pay all the bills. Y'all are the ultimate ones who are out here expressing what y'all are looking for. And if a man say, I want something back, oh, well, I don't know. But then you put yourself in a pickle because you still with the man who was taking care of majority of stuff. So you want more. You're just constantly looking for more, and you don't want to give anything. And they got to realize real quick that this is not how that go. And I think it's about time. You know what I mean? Because you see it's exposing this mentality and this thought process and why these women are by themselves. Because a lot of these men ain't, this is why we see an array, a plethora of videos of women out here complaining about they not checking for us, and now you're scared. What happened to the men? Girl, these men minding their goddamn business. They're going to work and they're going home, and they're not dealing with y'all ratchet asses. They don't want to deal with all this. I need you to pay my bills and pay for this $1,000 meals. These men ain't trying to. Y'all done price yourselves so far out. Now y'all wondering what happened. They really not talking to us because y'all really thought y'all could just say that BS. And these men were still going to be chasing y'all. And they're not chasing you as they shouldn't chase you. You don't need to be chasing somebody just so they can constantly run the other way. So they can constantly have more expectations for you. And you're supposed to keep measuring up and lining up to the bar. I told y'all that was a bunch of bullshit a long time ago. You chasing them so they can keep running and then keep setting the bar higher. Well, if you really want me, then you will do X, Y, Z. You keep raising the bar. Okay, I can get him to do this. He'll buy you some flowers. Take it to the expensive restaurant. Okay, now let's see how much more I could, pull out of him. Financial vampires. Let me just see how much more I can drain him dry. Let's see how far he willing to go. Let's see how stupid he gonna be. That's what they be saying, y'all. I don't mean to sound mean, but that's just how I see how that far I can take this ninja. Is he gonna pay my rent? He gonna pay for my babysitter? He gonna let my baby daddy come around? Let's see if he just gonna be the biggest ultimate simp possible. Let's just see. So they test you. Let's see how far he gonna go. And the further he willing to go, yes, she gonna keep you around in the goddamn friend zone, child. Or she gonna chameleon you to death. She gonna make you think she want, but she ain't really, you gonna notice she ain't really into you like that. She just wants you to keep paying them goddamn bills, keep giving her what she want. Everything that she want, you gotta give it. And the minute you don't give it, oh, well, you're not a real man. Because you're supposed to do it, and the minute you can't, oh, she out. That's what I be saying. And we've seen many, many examples of that. And they hate that we talk about it because it's exposing them, even though they expose themselves. But we keep exposing it because that's why they want the podcast and the equipment to go away. They don't want men talking. They don't want women talking. They want the sisterhood, the sisterhood up and be like, yeah, girl, because we queens, girl, we supposed to, we ain't settling. And I'm like, y'all a bunch of damn fools. I'm just saying. They're a bunch of damn fools. And I think these men see it. And any man walking around, I'm saying it, 2025 and beyond, and you getting finessed by a woman, you got to be out of your goddamn mind. I'm just saying. You got to be, something ain't right. Maybe you're not mentally stable because you don't see what's going on out here. Successful MD says, DeeDee, are you prepping for a comedy tour? No. I'm not. I am not. Thank you for the super chat, though. Oh, my Lord. It'd be funny, but it's the truth. Shit. Garudo Legend says, get what? peace, trim, happiness, and a good relationship, men are simple. Garudo Legends, thank you for the super chat. I said men are simple. Somebody tried to come for me. Somebody tried to come for me like, stop saying men are simple. What the this is why I think there's some delusional niggas out here too. Like, thank you, Garudo. Because I said men are simple and somebody tried to tell me, stop saying that. Well, what you want me to say, y'all difficult? Like, some niggas out here are stupid too. God forgive me. God forgive me. I'm sorry, y'all. I appreciate you, Garudo. Let's just thank you for the super chat. Some of these dudes are stupid. I'm sorry. I don't care. Some of them. Because I just like, you know, y'all saying that y'all are simple is not a negative. It's not a it's just it's distinguishing the difference between that the fact that men are more logical and they're not asking for unrealistic things from women for the most part. That makes sense? Or should I not say that? Because I was just taken back. What do you mean? Like, stop saying men are... No, I have a husband, and I think he's pretty simple, especially when it comes to me being a woman. We're delusional sometimes. We're complicated sometimes as women in general. We're the ones, remember, with the feelings, and we change our minds, and we the one don't know how to pick what we want for lunch. You know, we go back and forth and go do all these different. We're the complicated ones, and when you say, oh, women are complicated and men are more simple, why is that an issue? Why? And it's not everybody, but yeah, somebody tried to come for me talking about stop saying men are simple. I'm like, what are they then? Are they complicated? You tell me what they are then. I just didn't get it. But thank you, Garudo Legends, for that. I appreciate you. Successful MD says, Fago drinks selling themselves as top shelf. Fago drinks selling themselves as top shelf. I don't know what that means, Successful MD, but thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. It's a two-way street. These women look at it as one ways. They do. They do. When cheap wine try to act vintage, child, it's just a mess. Yeah, I mean, I just thank you, Successful MD. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. But, you know, I say that all the time. I say men are simple compared to women. Women are complicated. They make things complicated. They make things simple. They make something that should be easy complicated. You know, saying that a man is simple is not an insult. You know, it just shows that more men are more logical and men are more understanding in my personal opinion. Now, I think are all men like this? No. Are all men understanding and know how to work? No, because a lot of them just don't know how to be in relationships and don't know how to work with the opposite sex the same way a bunch of women out there like that. But for the men who understand and the men who get it, yeah, I say men are simple because guess what? There is a difference between if you have daughters, if you have a daughter and you have a son, you would understand that. People who have children understand this. If you have a daughter and you have son, and we have multiple daughters and multiple sons that we've raised, so you would understand. Boys are much more simpler in every way. They get a haircut. They get some pants. You can go buy, you know, some blue, black, tan, or navy pants. You can get them 4 pair of pants. That's how my husband think anyway. And you get them 5 shirts, different color shirts, some socks, some underwear. That's pretty much it, right? Am I tripping? Right? I know this because we've done this. This is what we've done. They wear that for the longest till they start growing, and they go in them growing spurts, and you gotta get more pants because they're too short, stuff like that. And these boys are tall, so but girls, underwear, leggings, dresses, bows for the hair, all types of accessories and things like that. Stockings, those cute socks. Just a lot of extra things that you get for girls than you do the boys. You see what I'm saying? DeeDee, please remember we have men and we have men boys. Okay, thank you. I see that. I'm thank you. Yeah, even when they're little, there are always more options for the girls than the boys. That's just how it is. So what happens, men are simpler because it doesn't take much for them to thrive. They talk about the men who have single men in their apartments because a lot of men don't do all that extra stuff. Now, nowadays, I see a lot of these young men in their apartments and they got some nice stuff going on. It's not always like back in the day where they had that one black couch, nothing on the walls. No, a lot of these men are decorating their places and they're really extremely nice. And they living very comfortably. But even there may be some who just don't need all that. They don't, more times than not, they get things that they need. They're not really looking for the extras. When it comes to us, like we needed to buy a toaster, right? Say we needed to buy a toaster. And I'm being honest, when I go into the store, right? Oh, we agree. We're going to go get a new toaster. When we go to the store, I'm looking at the toasters. Why my eye is going to go to the most expensive, oh, this toaster could do this. Oh, we just need a basic toaster. You know, my husband could be like, oh, we just need a simple toaster. Just toast the bread. That's what it's going to do. We don't need it with a light and we don't need all this extra shit on it. We just need a toaster, right? He looking like we just need a toaster. We don't need all that extra. But why I'm going to something that's extra and it's, oh, this one is pretty. Oh my God. He's focused on what we need, what it need to do. It's going to toast the bread. That's it. Why I'm like, oh, it's so cute. This one here, it does this and it does that. Do we need all that extra? No. What we needed to do, toast the bread. So that's how men and women are for the most part. Men are like, hey, let's get what we need. And that's it. Women like want the frill and the extras of things. So what happens? That costs more money. And they do that with a lot of stuff. I'm guilty of it myself because I'm a woman. But I'm just saying, at least I acknowledge that who I am and my husband knows who he's dealing with. But I'm just saying, a lot of these women don't see, it's like you don't understand, but you should. If you're trying to be with a man, you got to understand him just like you want him to understand you. And there needs to be a compromise there. Okay, you get this frilly toaster this time, but babe, we ain't getting no frilly this and no frilly that. I'll treat you this one time with this frilly toaster, but we ain't got the coins to do all this other frilly stuff. You okay? You want this or you want to wait? And then you could, get your frilly thing somewhere else another time. You got to compromise. You got to understand this is not your way or the highway. Neither way. It's like, look, let's compromise on some things. We trying to get somewhere in life. We can't just spend all our money on stuff that you want because it's all nice. No, you got to know what's important. So there needs to be compromise there. So that's just an example that I'm giving. But that's just how, a lot of women are. And I just think, you need to be aware that, that's when I say men are more simpler. They don't, all the time. My husband will go get some cheaper things. And I done went online and bought the same thing or something that I needed and he got it. He get it for a lot cheaper. It does the same thing. He's not trying to spend the most. I done spent more on stuff that could have been cheaper if I had waited and just, got it cheaper than go get it higher, spending more money when you don't have to. So yeah, men are a lot simpler. This is why, and you'll get a lot. To me, I think this is why important you need to have a man in your life. Need to be your husband or a man in your life who is, leading the show because he gonna save y'all a lot of money. He gonna lead you in the right way if that's who he is, and you'll be a lot richer, I would say, with a man who's responsible. I ain't saying every man is responsible, but a responsible man who knows what's important and you stick to that most of the time. Every now and then, yes, of course, people treat themselves. There's nothing wrong with that, but it can't be a treating situation every single goddamn day. Every day you got to get all the most expensive. And then when you're broke, you mad at him because you want him to level up. You want him to come and, replace all the money that you've spent. Like that's where it's getting out of hand. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, child. Maybe I'm just talking. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm just talking. But, yeah, a lot of women need to understand that, So, yeah. So that's when I say men are simple because they are. My sons are that way. Now, there's things that they like. And if they like certain things that might cost a little bit more, they'll get it. They pay for it. They're not asking me or their dad to pay for it. They go work and they pay for it. But they're not materialistic though. And they're not out here running to get all the Jordans and all this kind of stuff. None of us own Jordans. Nobody in this house ever has owned a Jordan. Ever. I almost bought me a pair. But Yeah, I've never purchased a Jordan shoe in my life. And neither has my husband or my sons or my daughters. They could care less. So I don't know what that means to people, but yeah, we didn't see the importance of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is. Master Ace says it's simple men want to help me, no drama. Right. Yeah, who wants that? I don't think anybody should want drama. You know what I'm saying? You should want to live a peaceful life. And hopefully you have a companion that you can live a peaceful life with. You know? Thank you, Master Ace. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you so much for being here. Shouldn't no grown man pay a grown woman bill. She grown, pay her own bills. I know that's right. I know that's right. I'm just saying, the union of woman and man provides balance to humanity. Simple. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. I agree. Tell that to the modern woman sisterhood, because they don't seem to understand that. They don't understand that. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get out of here. It's like 5:42 my time, almost 5:45. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, y'all. I will be back really, really soon. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. Also, please go and watch the videos that are posted on the channel, y'all. Go ahead and watch those videos and hit the like button to help the views on the videos that are already posted, y'all. I will be back really, really, really soon live. If you have any topics that you would like me to discuss, either in a video or a live, make sure you DM me on my Instagram at DeeDeesReactions. Go ahead and DM me on DeeDeesReactions on Instagram, and I will get those videos. All right. So make sure you guys do that. If you are new to the channel and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, like, and comment, and share if you can. And of course, turn that notification bell on. All right. So I appreciate everybody who gave super chats. If you gave a cash app or liked the stream, I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much for the support. It definitely helps the channel out. You guys, you have no idea. So I appreciate y'all for that. Keep supporting. As long as y'all are supporting, I'll continue to post, y'all. If at any point nobody's watching and nobody cares, then I'll probably stop posting. I'm just saying, because it makes no sense. But as long as you guys want me here and you will be willing to support the channel and support what I'm doing, I'm definitely going to show up for you guys. But once again, if it ever gets to the point where y'all ain't watching or y'all don't want to support, then I'm just going to lay low for a minute, because it makes no sense to give that much energy to something that people aren't really interested in. But as long as y'all are interested in it, and as long as you guys are watching and supporting, y'all want to hear my voice. I don't even like my voice. I don't even like my own voice. But as long as y'all like it and y'all want to hear from me, I will be here to give y'all a little kiki, give y'all a little something, to entertain you guys. So I hope you guys stay tuned. All right. So thank y'all once again. I appreciate y'all so much. Stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Mwah. See y'all later. Be safe. Good night, y'all.